Okay, so today we are going to do teriyaki steak. So it's a bit more, I don't know, exotic than the previous things we've done. So let's go over the ingredients that we're going to need. There's actually not a lot to it. Let's check it out here. First of all, you're going to need some meat. I got a couple pieces of meat here. Pretty small pieces of meat. Just about, what's the poundage on this? 0.78, 0.5. That'll fit in the pan here. Then we have some teriyaki sauce. Sweet teriyaki. That'll be good. We have some sesame oil. It's a good amount. And then some rice vinegar. Use a little bit of that. I don't have measurements for you. I'm just going to kind of wing it because that's the way I do this. And then also for a side, got cup noodle. And what's great about the cup noodle is, you see that? It's got vegetables in it already. Yeah. I'll show you how to make this if you're not familiar with how to make that. So let's get started right away here. We got some cooking to do. This will probably have to be another two-part video in order to get all of this done in time. So we got a nice big pan here, almost a wok, non-stick. With non-stick you use a plastic spatula. You don't want to use metal on that and scratch it all up. Get that heated and start right off with using some of the sesame oil. Getting that right in there. You're probably wondering, like, well, why didn't you soak this in advance? Why didn't you, use like a marinade? Why isn't this prepared? Well, that's not the nature of my videos. My videos aren't for people who, take the time to prepare and, make this beforehand. It's more of a spur of the moment thing. Like, hey, you can go out and get the ingredients, or in most cases, you could have already had the ingredients. This time, you'll probably have to go get these. I don't know if people have this kind of around. But yeah, this works. This whole recipe works. Doing it in the way I'm doing it. So I got a nice coating of oil around the pan. I'm going to do a little bit of rice vinegar. Don't need too much. And you really don't need that to heat up, because we're just going to cook the meat with it in there, because it's probably plenty hot. Okay, this gas open. Feels nice. I'm off camera. Okay, let's get that going. This is actually probably thicker than I would have wanted. I'd like doing a thin teriyaki steak for myself. That's okay. They were cheap. $2, $3. You wouldn't want to do something too big, actually, because that's what would make this not work, is if you had like a nice big slab of meat, because this is going to be, I'm going to do it well done. That's the way I make these steaks. I mean, I like a rare steak every now and then, or like a rare hamburger, but in this case, I kind of go for like a burn a little bit. It's just what I feel works. Push this off. And then while that's going, that'll take a little while to really get going. We're going to heat that up a little bit more. About partway in, I'm going to start doing the teriyaki, because I burn the teriyaki too as it's going on and get a nice well done. I might try to do these a little bit medium, a little bit. It's hard to judge sometimes. Anyway, so let's get this guy going. Cup of noodle. You're supposed to use a separate container to have heated water for. That's plenty, and then you just pop it in the microwave for a couple minutes. Two, because people put 200, you're really wasting time. This all opens up. Plastic off. You don't need to open this all the way, you just open it part way, right about there. Wait for the water to heat up. See how my meat is already getting hot. I feel it's getting hot. How do I do it on time? Quicker than the cookie video. Because I really didn't know what I was doing with that cookie video. But those come out pretty good, actually. They're actually really, really tasty. Just folded them over, then watched my other cookie video. They're really good. Look at this one. They weren't burnt, they're just crispy. They're good. Put that oil around. Show you what's going on. Get a good shot of that. It's in the sesame oil. Still pretty pink on top. I'm sure it's much more cooked on the bottom. It's a nice sized frying pan. You do need to be careful when you're flipping these because you got a lot of hot oil in there. These are heavy. These are much thicker than I was really planning on working with. It's nice to splatter oil everywhere. Well, let's get nice and brown. Big, thick steak. Alright. So, now that that's all nice and cooked, I'm going to start putting in some of the teriyaki. I'm just going to cook it right in there. Dump it right on. Just basically give it a nice coating right on top of the steak. Let it spill down. What will probably happen is it's going to blacken. It's going to look like tar or oil or something, just like clumps of black. It tastes really good though. It's like a caramelized thing over it. So we got our water ready. This is good and hot. Take the couple noodles. Just pour in your hot water. There's a line in there, you just do it right about to the line. And it just needs to sit. Just set it over here. I'll actually take a fork. Stab it in there and keep it closed. Right like that. So it's going to hold it all, the heat in. And this can sit for a while, because what we'll do, if you were making this like for your girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever, is you can actually, you don't want to serve them a cup of noodle. What you want to do is let this get nice and soaked in. It'll fill up even more if you really let it sit. Then maybe reheat it again, or you can toss it into the same pan if you want to have that teriyaki flavor. But just take all the noodles out and serve it as a side, just right next to the steak on the plate. Then you have a side dish, and if they don't eat cup of noodles, they're not going to know what it is. They're just going to think they're eating noodles. So this is going pretty good now, actually. So it's pretty blackened in there. It's, you know what? I am going to just use the camera as a camera. All right. Really sizzling. It's gotten very dark. But that's okay. We can move those around because heat isn't always distributed evenly inside a pan like this, especially since you got two different sizes of meat and everything. And what the fat will do, you see the fat on the side, that fat is really going to soak up all the flavor. It's going to get the sesame oil, the rice vinegar, and the teriyaki. That is going to be really tasty to chew on, but since it's fat, you probably are going to want to spit it out. But it'll just take maybe about 20 minutes in there, flipping them back and forth and over and again, and then probably apply more teriyaki, because you're going to get this real good clump of sauce. I'm realizing how loud that is. I'm wondering if I'm even coming over the audio on that. You can hear me. Anyway, like I said, this probably will have to be a two-part video. I don't think we'll end up with any surprises like with other videos before. Now it's probably a good time to turn it down a little bit. Really sizzle. Give it a flip, and then apply the teriyaki on the other side. Because this is a thick piece of meat here. This will take a while to cook. For some people, you're probably like, "Oh, it's ready now." It's just the way I like it. All right. So let's do the other side teriyaki, because it really won't stay. It really won't. Oh wow, that's a horrible shot. I need a cameraman. Talking and I'm off camera. Anyway, do another little bit of this. Just the coating on the other side. It's gonna come out really good. It really will. I'll have to keep an eye on it. See how our noodles are doing. Of course, you'll want 2 cups of noodles if you're making this for 2. Just again, let's just take it off the inside. But I'll come back. I'll have to be able to check out the second part of the video.